The story begins on a planet located far away in a galaxy named Chatin. The planet is under the control of a dangerous alien named Scorba. On the same planet, there is a scientist named John, who, after years of experimentation, creates a child who is destined to save Chatin from Scorba's terror. However, Scorba soon learns about this and heads towards the lab to kill the child. In a last effort to save him, John places the child in a small spaceship and sends him to Earth, specifically to the USA. Moments later, Scorba arrives with his daughter, Aga. Aga uses her mind-reading abilities to inform Scorba about everything, and Scorba assigns her the mission of tracking down and capturing the child. Aga sets off in her spaceship, but the child's spaceship collides with a satellite and crash lands in a field in Spain. There, a man and his wife find the child and are shocked by his unusual mustache. Despite this, they adopt the child and name him Juan López, hiding his spaceship in their garage. Soon they realize that Juan is no ordinary child. His mustache grows rapidly, and he possesses incredible powers like super speed, strength, X-ray vision, and the ability to freeze water. However, whenever he uses his powers, people get scared and run away, which is why, by the age of 10, he has no friends. His parents advise him to pretend to be an ordinary human, to fit in with the people around him. 20 years pass, and Juan now lives alone in a big city, leading the life of an ordinary man. One day, his friend Jamie calls him and asks why he hasn't reached work yet. Juan, who claims to already be at the office, quickly gets ready using his super speed and arrives within 2 minutes. Jamie informs Juan that a new girl is joining the office, whom Jamie likes and wants to throw a welcome party for her, but Juan refuses and goes for breakfast instead. Soon, the doorbell rings, and Juan sees through the door that the new girl is Luisa, who used to be his friend at university. Juan happily opens the door and welcomes her, informing her about the evening's welcome party. After work, Luisa, Juan, Jamie, and 2 other workers stay for the party. When Luisa goes to the bathroom, Juan uses his super hearing to discover that she doesn't like Jamie's clingy behavior, but she is happy that Juan is there. Later, Juan uses his freezing ability to make drinks for everyone, but by then Luisa had already left. Juan quickly follows her with his super speed and meets her at the station, and they both go out to eat. While at the restaurant, some young people start causing a disturbance. Luisa tries to stop them, but they mock her, and one of the guys pushes Juan. Although angry, Juan does nothing to reveal his true identity. Later, as Juan waits for the train home, he wonders if hiding his true self is really the right thing to do. Suddenly, a train zooms past out of control, and Juan, mustering his courage, jumps onto the tracks. He uses his super speed to reach the next station before the train and tries to stop it, but his powers are not enough, and he gets dragged along with the train. Finally, he reaches the last station and manages to stop the train using an emergency brake, preventing a major disaster. As everyone watches him, Juan quickly steals a hat and runs away. The next morning, news of a man stopping a train spreads across all TV channels in the USA, and the news reaches Ata, who is now an adult and owns an electronics company called Chit. She is still searching for Juan and now has a big clue, so she decides to go to Spain with her army of robots. Meanwhile, at the office, Juan makes plans to go out with Luisa again, when Jamie informs him that Ata is coming from the USA to meet the superhero in Spain. Ata informs her father that she is close to finding John's son and that her company's technology has spread to every corner of the world. But Scorba is skeptical because so many years have already been spent on this mission. As Juan is on a bus to meet Luisa, he suddenly experiences a severe headache, caused by Ata sending signals to his mind, summoning him to the Chit Company building. Unable to resist, Juan arrives at the building where he is taken to dinner with Aga. Aga tells Juan that she is also an alien like him and wants to take him back to their planet, but Juan doesn't believe her and tries to leave. However, Aga reads his mind and learns that he likes Luisa. She then sends her army of robots to stop Juan. Although Juan is not very good at fighting, defeating the robots is child's play for him. But as more and more robots keep coming, they gang up on Juan. He eventually escapes and leaves through the elevator. Meanwhile, Ata finds out that Juan left his jacket behind, and inside it she finds Luisa's business plan, which helps her start preparing her next move. Ata's company, Chit's technology, is everywhere, so she easily hacks into a cleaning machine in Juan's office and uses it to collect Luisa's DNA sample. The machine then connects to a computer and starts sending the information to Ata. But Jamie notices it and tries to stop the machine, only to get a powerful electric shock. The machine grows insect-like legs and chases Jamie, who eventually destroys it with the help of the other workers. However, it was too late as the DNA sample had already reached Aga. Jamie tries to warn Luisa by phone, but she doesn't pick up. Juan, searching for Luisa, arrives at her house and finds her drunk, wanting him to spend the night with her. Juan refuses to take advantage of her in her intoxicated state, but when Luisa calls him a coward, Juan kisses her and leaves. Jamie, who had come to warn Luisa, sees this and gets angry with Juan. Ata then arrives and reads Jamie's mind, deciding to use him as a pawn in her plan. She creates a robot that looks exactly like Luisa using her DNA. Ata tells Jamie that if he helps her, she will reunite him with the real Luisa. The next morning, Juan visits his parents and asks them about his true identity. Finally, they tell him that he is indeed an alien and show him his spaceship. Juan presses a button, and a video of his real father, John, appears, explaining everything to him and urging him to return to Chatham to save his people from Scorba. However, Juan has no interest in becoming a superhero for a distant planet, but his mother convinces him, and she even makes a superhero suit for him from the clothes found in the spaceship. Juan believes that he doesn't have the power to fly, but he still tries, only to fall badly from the roof, confirming his belief that he is not a superhero. However, when some mischievous kids start making fun of his suit, Juan draws a symbol with his hands and suddenly lifts off the ground. He then raises his other hand and quickly soars into the sky. At first, he struggles to control himself, crashing into the sea and the desert. But soon he learns to fly and returns home. He changes into regular clothes, and just then the Luisa robot arrives at his house. Juan suspects something is wrong, so he takes her to his room and reveals his true identity. The Luisa robot, following Ata's orders, urges Juan to return to his planet, but Juan refuses to leave her behind. Jamie, who is under Ata's control, accuses Juan of betraying him and calls him a terrible superhero. Realizing that he had indeed wronged Jamie, Juan feels guilty, and hearing this, Jamie's heart softens. Ata then commands Luisa to punch Juan, sending him crashing to the floor. Juan puts on his superhero costume and starts fighting the Luisa robot. He finally manages to knock her head off with a bat. Meanwhile, Ata sees that Jamie wants to help Juan, so she captures Jamie. Juan learns that Luisa is in Barcelona and flies there to meet her. He tells her everything, but Luisa doesn't believe him. To prove it, Juan shows her his superhero costume. But just then, Ata's men kidnap Luisa, and Juan experiences severe pain in his head as Ata informs him that Luisa is now in her custody. Juan flies to the Chit building where Luisa and Jamie are tied to a wall. Suddenly, a deafening noise from the speakers causes Juan to collapse in pain. Jamie and Luisa try to encourage him, but it has no effect. Jamie then mocks Juan, calling him a useless superhero, which hurts Juan's ego, and he begins to rise. Luisa also starts insulting him, which angers Juan, and he uses his heat vision to break through the wall and free them, taking them back to his home. Atta doesn't find out about this because Scorba has just arrived on Earth. He has no interest in meeting Atta. He just wants to see Juan. When Atta takes Scorba to her headquarters, they find that everyone has escaped. Scorba scolds Atta and wishes she wasn't his daughter. Fed up with the insults, Atta loses her temper and cuts Scorba's oxygen pipe, killing him. She takes over his position and soon arrives at Juan's house in her spaceship, transforming into a robot. Juan quickly starts putting on his superhero suit, and his father shoots at the robot. Atta then creates a powerful wind to pull Juan's father inside. Juan tries to save him but is pulled in by the robot. Atta then throws Juan so far away that he lands in the middle of a Barcelona match. Juan quickly flies back, but by then Atta had already captured his mother. And then she slammed Juan down and was about to crush him. She pulled out a saw and was just about to cut Juan when Jamie distracted her. Atta grabbed him as well, but finally Luisa arrived with a truck and called out to Juan. He got back up, punched the robot, and declared that his name is Super López. He then turned the glass into ice and pushed the robot into the pool. Finally, Juan's parents, Jamie and Atta, were freed from the robot. Juan then sent Atta and the real superhero back to Chiton, and everyone there learned that Scorba had been defeated. They recognized Juan as the true hero. Back on Earth, Juan became the greatest superhero, married Luisa, and continued to help everyone as Super López whenever he got the chance. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.